Mm-hmm. Not bad for the first shot, huh? Could use a little more to the right. Just came on a few minutes early to try to set up here, since it's been a while. That will allow for any technical difficulties. Anyway, we're going to play a game today. I'm Spokane Steve, of course. This is a full season 1966 replay, Strat-O-Matic baseball cards and dice. It is the advanced version with a couple of tweaks. We use the supplementary base stealing with a pickoff. We do not use the balk. We do not use the wild pitch. The other super advanced thing I use is the ground ball result chart. Most people already know, I was sick for about a week or more. Went to the ER Monday, had pneumonia. Not terribly bad. I saw my primary care physician on Thursday. He gave me a different antibiotic and said I was on the road to recovery, but to be patient because it'll take a while. At my age, or when you're over 60, pneumonia is a serious matter, especially with COPD. So it's a mild case, but I didn't take it lightly. It's funny, I posted that video on Thursday. Well, yeah, I might do a game tomorrow. There was no frickin' way that was happening. So this game would have been played like a week ago. Hey there, Ben. How are you? Hello, Madden Vids. Yeah, it's going to be a while with my lungs. So, I don't know. I thought I'd try one today. We're just going to kind of ease into it. The ER people think it started as RSV, but I should have gone in like a week ago. I should have gone in Thursday instead of Monday. That meaning a week ago last Thursday. What day is this anyway? Saturday. It is Saturday. So I missed the happy hour game. I thought about a happy hour game yesterday. I just didn't have it in me. And of course I've got all these frickin' drafts going on for my keeper leagues. 2 of them are done now. 2 in progress, and then the big natural draft is an all-in-one-day affair, like the MMDA. That one's going to be on the 21st. And my buddy from the Tacoma area is coming over for that one. Him and his wife are coming over. They used to live around here, Airway Heights, which is pretty close to Spokane. Of course, he grew up in Tacoma. Not surprising he moved back there. Kansas City at Cleveland. It's the first of a 4-game set here today with Lou Krause, the righty, on the mound for the Athletics. Lefty Jack Kralik getting a rare start for Cleveland. Looking at the numbers, Krause has pitched well lately. Overall, where is he? I can't find him. 4-2 with a 4 ERA. He worked 15 games in relief, and now he's moved into the rotation. This will be his 3rd start. He has a complete game, although he's only worked 36 innings in total. But with 22 starts on the card, at this point in the season, you'd have to figure that he's worked his way into the rotation now. Kralik only made 4 starts that season. This is the third of the four. 0-2, 5.18. The dice have not been all that friendly to Jack Kralik. But that's Strat-O-Matic, right? Kansas City lineup will have Bert Campaneris leading off at shortstop, Jim Gosker in left field. You can find him at the top of the page under Who's Ice Cold right now. Roger Repos plays first base and hits third. Mike Hirschberger in right. Danny Cater is the third baseman. Welcoming Dick Green back into the lineup at second. Joan Nosek in center field. Phil Roof, the catcher, and Krause, the pitcher. How many of you guys are familiar with the Bonzo Dog Band, or the Bonzo Dog Doodah Band, as they're sometimes called in their full extension of the name? When I say things like nice to see Dick Green back into the lineup, I think of nice to see the Roninsons on trombone. From the intro and the outro. Never back to Kalamazoo. I got a gal in Kalamazoo. Benny Goodman, wasn't that? Got him all over the place today. I'll tell you, we don't know what I'm going to say today because I don't even know what I'm going to say today. That's probably true most of the time, but even more so today, as my brain feels kind of detached from my body. The umpires today are going to be Larry Knapp behind the plate, John Rice at first, nobody at second, and Jim Odom at third. So it looks like even one of the umpires called in sick. Taking a cue from this announcer, perhaps. Also, I have a trivia question today. I'm going to give it to you now. No, I'm not. I lied. We're going to at least play an inning and see if anybody else wants to join us, because we've only got 13 in right now. A little early for trivia. All right, I've got coffee, though. Nice full-strength coffee. You know what I'm talking about, Ben? I know you do. All right, let's play ball. Both teams have a one-game losing streak, so nothing exciting there. This is basically the battle for second place in the American League. The Twins are in second, obviously. Well, maybe not obviously, but if you're a regular, it's obviously. If not, I'll tell you, the Orioles a huge lead over the second-place Twins, and handful of other teams trying to catch the Twins. Thank you, Tom Kerwin. God, what a difference it makes, huh, Ben? Not just in the lift, but mostly the flavor. Some people drink coffee for the caffeine. Primarily for the caffeine. For me, it's primarily for the taste. I mean, I need the caffeine. But I love the flavor. Here's Campy to lead things off. Let's play ball, shall we? Campy at 261, 1 homer, 24 RBIs. Kralik, a left-hander into the windup. Here it comes. 6'9" right-handed. That ball is lined into left. Single to 13. That's going to be a base hit for Campy. He's a weak. He rolled the homer on the 6'9", 1 to 13, but he's a weak both ways. And that's okay, because knowing Campy, he doesn't plan to be staying at first very long. Star 19, Kralik with a poor hold, +2. Askew balances that out, however, with a nice -2 arm. So Campy 19 held at 17 as Jim Gosker steps up to the plate. That's a good description, Ben. Gosker, a picture of futility at 6 for 47 on the season. Wow, and most of that in his last 10 days, is that right? It says here he's 6 for 46 in the last 10 days. Oh, he got traded, didn't he? He didn't start the year on Kansas City. Kansas City made so many trades, I can't keep track of them all. Hey, Joel Turney. Campy, of course, held at 17, is going to roll for it. 2 through 6 or 12. He's got the lead. There he goes to 17. Askey fires down, and he's stolen it. Stolen base, Campy. Not at all surprising. In fact, I was expecting it. That's his 24th steal of the season. Next pitch to Gosker. Left on left, 6-11. And that's a high fly ball to deep right field. Going back is Colavino. It is gone. Oh, my goodness. The crowd is stunned. Jim Gosker, with not much on his card against lefties, but he does have the end power. And he lofts a 2-run shot here in the first inning to give Kansas City a 2-0 lead. Let's look at it again. 6-11 lefty. I was shocked to see that. Not much on that card against lefties. In fact, I was wondering why the hell he was in the lineup against the lefty. Well, I guess we know why. And now up steps another lefty, Roger Repos. Repos, since coming over to Kansas City, 11 for 37, a 297 average with a pair of home runs. Kralik comes in with a 5-9 lefty. That's a high fly ball to deep center. Davalillo on his horse. He's there and makes the catch. So that was well struck as well. And Kralik not fooling anybody here in the early going. That'll bring up Mike Hirschberger, the right fielder. Hey there, Ernest. Thank you very much. It'll be a little subdued broadcast today, I think. But, you know, you got to get your toes in the water at some point, don't you? Hirschberger hitting .245, just 1 homer, but 25 RBIs. He does have 21 extra base hits. Kralik into the windup. That's a 1-2 lefty. Liner right into the glove of Alvis at third. So every ball has been well hit so far, but there's 2 down, and here's Cater. No, I'm not on anything. I'm just, it's kind of an out-of-body experience because I'm so fatigued. I'm on caffeine. Yeah, and I guess I'm just rolling the game. I'm not really, I don't know if it's fair to you guys or not. I'm not really focused on the announcing like I normally try to focus on it. I'm just trying to get through the game and see if I can do it. Danny Cater hitting .200, 2 homers, 12 RBIs. Kralik into the windup now. That's a 6-7 righty. That's second base X. Tough chance for Brown, who's terrible. He's a 40-68. Here's the play on a 7, and he makes the play and throws him out. Holy cow, what a play by Brown at second. Did not see that one coming. So the Athletics settle for the 2, which scored, of course, on Jim Gosker's 2-run blast. And after half an inning, it's Kansas City 2, Cleveland coming to bat against Lou Krause. Here's the lineup for the Indians. Vic Davalillo leads off in center field. Leon Wagner in left. Chico Simone, for some reason, batting third at shortstop. They've been doing that a lot lately, though, right? Simone's been in that 3-hole for a while. It's a head-scratcher, but of course, hindsight's 2020. Cleanup man Rocky Colavito in right, no surprise there. Big Fred Whitfield at first base. Max Alvis down at third. Joe Askew behind the dish. Larry Brown at second base. And Kralik the pitcher. See, now I've forgotten who Cleveland's regular second baseman even is, because Brown's been playing there for quite a few games now. Let's look at the stats and see if I can't jog my memory. Pedro Gonzalez. So we haven't seen Pedro Gonzalez in a while. And it's a super chat from the professional felon, Dan Port. Thank you very much, Dan. I greatly appreciated. All right, second inning. I'm sorry, no it isn't. It's the bottom of the first. Davalillo will lead it off, hitting .255, 2 homers, a dozen RBIs. Krause into the windup. That's a 3-8 righty. High fly ball to deep right. Hirschberger back at the track, at the wall, and makes the catch at the wall. Davalillo gave it a ride. Loud out to right, 1 away for Leon Wagner. Wagner, the leading hitter on the club at .321. A dozen homers, 33 RBIs. Krause gets the sign. Pitch is a 3-9 right-handed. Rolls it to first base. Repos will take it to the bag. And that's 2 away. Here's the shortstop, Chico Simone. Simone hitting just .184 this year. He does have 5 home runs, 15 RBIs. Krause with the pitch. It's going to be a 2-3. Grounder to first. White at first. Repose gloves it. Throws to Krause covering. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Krause. So Cleveland goes down quickly in the bottom of the first. And after an inning of play, it's 2-0 Kansas City. I have to assume Kralik, with only 4 starts on the season, was pressed into service due to an injury of some kind. It's nice to see that my goal was achieved, too. That's important. Dick Green will lead off the second. Green at .254, 3 home runs, and a team-leading 37 RBIs. Kralik into the windup. 5'10 righty. High pop fly, shallow center. On comes Davalillo. He is there. He had to come in a long way for that, but of course Davalillo covers a lot of ground out there in center with that 1-17 speed. I'm going to get a drink of water, see if I can't clean this voice up at least a little bit. Here's the center fielder, Joe Nosek now. Nosek hitting just .215, does not have a home run. He's in there for his glove. The left-hander lines and deals, .211. Base hit the other way into right field. Nosek aboard with a 1-out single. Nosek with good speed, as do most of Kansas City, actually. They lead the league in stolen bases as a team with 56. 15 held at 13 for Nosek. And he's going to roll for it. 2 through 5, 11 and 12. 5, he's got it. 1 to 13. The pitch to Roof. There goes Nosek. Askew fires down, and he's caught like a thief in the night. Nice peg by Joe Askew. And welcoming in Bill Ivemy. Hello, Bill. I'm not a big fan of 1-13 stealing, but with the Athletics and also with the White Sox this year, tend to push the envelope a little bit because they were that kind of team. 2 down for Ruth. Here's the pitch. That's a 5-7. He's got a base hit, double on a 2, and it will be a 2-out single for Phil Roof, the catcher who came into the game hitting .222. And that'll turn the lineup over if nothing else. Kraus, a right-handed batter, weak. Kralik with a 5-4 righty. Third base X, tough chance for Elvis. Elvis, a good third baseman, 321. Here's the play on a 4. He can't get it. Knocks it down but has no play, and that'll be an infield single for Kraus. And that's 3 consecutive singles against Kralik. So another rough inning for Kralik, thanks to the caught stealing. They haven't scored yet this inning. And up steps Campy Campaneris to see what he can do about that. He singled, stole second, and scored his first time up. Kralik checks the runners, comes to the plate 4-8, pops him up right side. Whitfield will take it. And Kralik escapes the jam. No runs, 3 hits, a pair left. So waste not, want not, perhaps. The chance goes a-begging for the Athletics. I almost said the Royals. That happens a lot. In my NABL draft, without any intent to do so on my part, in the 6th and 7th rounds, I was able to acquire both of the Meltons. The center fielder, Melton, who played briefly with the Astros and is now with Tampa Bay, and of course Melton, the Detroit pitcher, who, if you saw the playoff series with the Mariners at all, he absolutely dominated the Mariners in the postseason. He does have some elbow tenderness, but I'm willing to take the chance in that late of a round. Yeah, I bet, Ben. I would too. Two to nothing. Here's Rocky Colavito. Colavito hitting .281, 13 homers, 32 RBIs. Kraus into the windup now. That's a 5-3 right-handed. Grounder first base X. Tough chance for Repos. Repos is a 418 to his right. Here's the play on a 7. Error range. It's a 4 on an 18. He's not going to make that, is he? Nope, it's off his glove. That will be an error on Repos. So the first error of the game, Colavito reaches. Let's check the battery now. Kraus is 0. Roof is 0. Colavito, of course, not a threat to run. And here's, well, that's what I thought, Ernest. Bill Melton, of course. By all means, Ben, please do. Didn't Melton hit 33 home runs in 1970? I could be off on the year, but it was one of my first Strat sets, and it was one of the better power cards in the set. Whitfield, his average has dropped to .254. However, his 16 homers and 47 RBIs lead the team and are among the league leaders in those categories. Kraus out of the stretch. It's a 5-9. He hits that high and deep to right. Hirschberger back. It's over his head. That's going to go for extra bases. Colavito rounding. 9 minus 4. I don't think so. Colavito, third base coach, frantically waving Colavito to a stop at third base. So Colavito running and Hirschberger throwing. Not a good combination for Rocky. But the Indians have the tying runs in scoring position and nobody out, and Max Alvis steps to the plate. 71, the first two-sided card set from Strat, yeah. I think Melton needs more cards on the ATG game in the Strat-O-Matic Online 365 version. I wonder if he has any. I have to say I've never used his card. That doesn't mean he doesn't have. Oh, he does. Okay, his 69 and his 71 cards are both available. And 71 was the year I was thinking of. A solid 3E18. Better against righties. You know, looking at that right now, I don't know why I haven't used that card. You'd want to be in a right-handed power park, of course. 69 card doesn't have enough on base. But that was a solid year. And when I say not enough on base, we're comparing to we're talking about the all-time greats. And there's my old friend Richard Watts. Richard, I'm recovering from pneumonia. That's why I haven't been on in a while. It also explains the fatigue in my voice. Let's see how Kansas City's going to play it. I'm going to roll for it. 1-3, they'll be in. It'll be back for Alvis, and here's the pitch. 1-5 right-handed, base hit the opposite way. That'll drive in Colavito. Whitfield can try to score. He's also very slow, and he'll hold. So stopping at third is Whitfield on an RBI single by Alvis. Still nobody out. And here's Joe Askew. Askew, the catcher, hitting .204, 3 homers, 9 RBIs. Krause out of the stretch now. Comes right in there with a fastball. 6-6, pops him up left side. Waving his arms is Campaneris. That's a big first out there for Krause. Double play depth for Larry Brown. Brown hitting .243, just 70 at bats, does not have a home run. Krause out of the stretch. 3-4. Grounder to second. That's going to get the tying run in, however. Ground ball C. Green had to charge that one. His only play is to first. And on the play, Whitfield crosses the plate. Give Brown an RBI. And we got a tie ball game. Both runs unearned as far as Krause is concerned. And here's Kralik, who bats left-handed. 5-2 lefty. Pokes it the other way to third. Cater gloves it, goes down to Green for the force, and that'll do it. Indians tie it with 2 runs, 2 hits, leave a man. Both of those runs, again, unearned as far as Krause's record is concerned, and we're knotted up at 2 after 2. I was really excited to get back on and see all of you guys again. It's been over a week. The last game was a week ago yesterday. And that knocked me out. I should have been in the ER that night, honestly, but I waited through the weekend like a dipshit. And it had gotten bad by Monday morning. Anyway, water under the bridge. Third inning here. Gosker will lead it off. Jim Gosker shocked everybody with a 2-run blast right at the top of the first inning. his first home run of the season, and he's hitting 128. Left on left, Kralik with a 4-6 lefty. Rolls it to second. Brown scoops it up and throws him out. Here's Repos now, 0 for 1. Left on left matchup. Breaking ball, 2-5. Base hit the other way into left field. A 1-out single for Repos. Kansas City, you know, was an interesting team for about a third of the season. And then they started trading off their players. They're still a fun team to manage, though, because they run. And I enjoy that. Hirschberger 0 for 1. Kralik from the stretch. That's a 4-2 righty. Fly ball to straightaway center. Davalillo to his left. He is there. Davalillo once again covering a lot of ground out there. And with 2 down, it'll be up to Danny Cater. Kralik gets the side. On a 111 lefty, he pokes it to second. Brown has it, shovels it to Simone for the force, and the side is retired. Kralik rated only 5 for endurance. Krause a 7. Not surprisingly for Kralik, of course, he only made 4 starts in 1966. And now that we've got a few people here, I'm going to give you the trivia question. As always, I encourage anyone to share a trivia question with us. This is from the Baseball Buffet. Let me see if I can find it. I had it queued up earlier, but here it is. One of today's birthday boys is pitcher J.R. Richard, who had 2 seasons with 300 or more strikeouts, 1978 and 1979. Since the beginning of the expansion era, 1961, there have been 6 other pitchers to have 2 or more 300-plus strikeout seasons. How many of them can you name? And I'm going to scroll down to the answer right now because I don't even know the answer. Now I have the answers in front of me. So expansion era, pitchers with, and Bill's got one right away, Nolan Ryan. Yep, he did it 6 times. Koufax, he did it 3 times. Carlton is not correct, Mike. Sorry. Thank you for playing. So we got Ryan, Koufax. McDowell is right. Randy Johnson's right. So we're missing 2 of them. We got 4 of them. Top of the order for the Indians in the bottom of the 3rd. Krause pitching to Davalillo. Here's the windup, and here's the pitch on a 3-10 righty. Base hit up the middle. Leadoff single for Davalillo, and he's got speed to burn. 15, held at 13. Yes, Pedro. So there's only 1 left now. Pedro did it twice. With Wagner up, we're going to swing away with nobody out. Good guess, Bill, but it wasn't good. And the player we haven't guessed yet did it 3 times. Johnson and Ryan with 6 apiece, the most. And Joel gets it. Kurt Schilling was the last one. Randy Johnson, Nolan Ryan, Sandy Koufax, Kurt Schilling, Pedro Martinez, and Sam McDowell. Kraus out of the stretch. Pitch to Leon Wagner on a 3-11, just outside ball 4. And Kraus finds himself in a jam here in the bottom of the 3rd. So the Indians elected not to try for the lead with Davalillo, and it paid off. He gets to second anyway on the base on balls. Here's the shortstop, Simone. Simone squares to bunt. He's a B on an 8. That's good enough to advance both runners. So a surprise sacrifice there by Simone. And the Indians threatening in the bottom of the 3rd, 2nd and 3rd, 1 down. Infield will be in for Colavito. Boy, I'd hate to be Danny Cater right now. Kraus gets the sign, the pitch. 5-6 right-handed. Grounder to first B. Repos throws home and nails the lead man. Oh my. So the infield in pays off. Wagner winds up at 3rd base. Big play there for Kansas City. Hello, Larry. Hello. I already said hello to Joel, I think. Hey, there's Franklin. Hello there. And we've got quite a few people here. Especially for not being around for a while. Of course, Mookie's been carrying the channel. He's got me up to, 609 subscribers now. So I thank everybody for that. Apparently a lot of them are cat subscribers, huh? I think I had 591 at the time of my last Strat-O-Matic broadcast. Runners at the corners, 2 down. Fred Whitfield, who doubled his first time up. Kraus trying to get out of the jam. The pitch to Whitfield. 2-5 righty. Base hit into right field, and Cleveland takes the lead. Wagner scores. Colavito can go to 3rd. To right. No, he's not going to do that, obviously. Again, Colavito and Hirschberger. Not a good combination for Colavito. But the RBI by Whitfield, and the Indians take a 3-2 lead. Now here's Max Alvis. Kraus for the windup. That's a 6-5 righty. Shortstop X. Campaneris into the hole. 323. On a 4, he can't get it. He has no play. He got a glove on it, kept it in the infield, probably saved a run, but the bases will be loaded. And Phil Roof's jogging out to the mound now. Kraus, understandably, bummed out a little bit. He hasn't been very lucky this inning. And up steps Joe Askew with the bases loaded. Well, one thing about WBC, I see that Ohtani's lighting it up. What else is new, right? Runners take their lead. Kraus delivers to Askew on a 110 liner right at Repos. Oh my goodness. That could have been ugly for Kansas City, but Repos makes the stab to end the inning, and the Indians settle for a lone run and leave the bases full. A lot of men left on base already in this one, and it's 3-2 Indians after 3. I found I couldn't get FS1. Is that kicking the frickin' nuts or what? Anybody complain, where's the cat? The one I have is from Bing Videos, and it's on YouTube as well. It's called Baseball Ambience, All 9 Innings. It says it's from YouTube, but I looked it up under Bing Videos. So it's the same one. I guess it's shared, whatever. I don't know how that works. Dick Green will start off the 4th. He's 0 for 1. Kralik gets the sign. Left-hander winds and deals on a 1-8 little comebacker. Kralik tosses it over to Whitfield. 1 away, and here's Joe Nosek. The pitch is a 3-9 left-handed. He rolls it to second. Brown scoops it up. Flips it to Whitfield. 2 quick outs for Kralik. So Kralik has settled down now, and here's Roof. On a 2-7. Rolls it to short. Simone to first. 3 ground balls out of Kralik. 3 up, 3 down for Kansas City. That's correct, Larry. That's what I heard as well. I was surprised to see Taipei doing as well so far. I didn't really know what to expect out of them. Although their frozen dinners aren't bad. Oh, shoot. Still nobody's picked in the Nabel draft, huh? ABL. Bottom of the 4th, Larry Brown to start things off. Krause into the windup. Here's the pitch. 2-8 righty. Swung on and missed, strike 3. That's the first strikeout for Krause. Krause, not a strikeout pitcher. Here's the pitcher Kralik hitting left-handed. 2-9, grounder to first. Repos. Underhands to Krause, covering. And it'll bring up the leadoff man, Vic Davalillo. Vic's 1 for 2 today. There's the windup. It's a 2-2 righty. Pops him up left side. Campy waving his arms. And it's a clean 1-2-3 inning for Krause. His first clean inning since the first inning. We've played 4, and it's 3-2 Indians. Kralik will be going into his first endurance inning already as we move to the 5th. Krause will bat. The pitch on a 3-6. Grounder to short. Simone charges it, throws on the run. Plenty of time to throw out Krause. And that'll bring up the leadoff man, Campy Campaneris. Lefty gets his sign. Pitch to Campy, 6-7 righty. Second base X, that's Brown again. Hold your breath, 468. On a 15, he makes the play and throws him out. Wow. That's 2 X plays made by Brown, a 4E68. Brown, undaunted by his reputation, says, I can play this position. Here's Gosker now, lefty-lefty matchup. It's a 6-3. Fly to left field X, tough chance for Wagner. Wagner not the most fleet of foot out there. He's a 4E3 on a 20. And he makes the catch for the out. What a running catch by Leon Wagner. Holy cow. So a couple of nice plays there by the Indians. 1-2-3 inning for Kralik. I agree. That's my sentiments exactly, Larry. Now it starts to get interesting. Bottom of the 5th here. Wagner, who made that fine catch, that I don't think anybody here thought he was going to get to that. And he'll lead it off here in the bottom of the 5th. Kraus getting his sign from Rude. Here's the pitch. Fastball 2-4. Liner right at Campaneris, however. Campy almost in self-defense makes the catch. And here's the shortstop, Chico Simone. The pitch is a 5-8 righty. He rips that one into the left center gap. Double to 10, and he's headed for second, and he's in there with a 1-out double. Chico Simone with a 1-out double. And here comes the meat of the order. Colavito steps into the box. Whitfield on deck. Kraus a glance at second. Shakes one off now. I've got a die lost somewhere. And it landed so softly I can't even, there it is. Okay, new ball for Kraus. He's rubbing it up. Glance at second. Challenges them with a fastball. Fly ball to deep center. Back is Nosek, way back. Makes the catch. That's an 8A. Simone tags up and easily moves to third. So 2 down, runner at third. It is up to Whitfield. Whitfield's 2 for 2. Alvis on deck. Boy, if you're Kraus here, you almost, and they're going to. They're holding up 4 fingers, and they're going to put Whitfield on. So a rare intentional walk from me. As you guys know, not a big fan of the intentional walk. But in a close game, if you're Kraus, I think you'd much rather face Alvis than Whitfield. Although Alvis has a pair of hits today. And he's determined to make him pay for that as the pitch comes in. Fastball. 4-7 righty. Routine roller to short. Campy gloves it, throws on the run. And the strategy pays off as the Tribe strands 2 more. How many left on base is that now for Cleveland? We're through 5 complete. They're holding on to a 3-2 lead. Coffee time here. Oh, I tell you, Coda, the cat from next door, was inside again here. He likes to come right into my apartment now. And poor Mookie, when he's outside there, Mookie is right at the glass. He's interested. Seems like he wants to get to know him. But as soon as I slide that open and he comes in, Mookie is not pleased. Unless Golden Earring goes on tour. That's funny. Ah, yes, the Bly. Bert Blyleven. One of the prettiest 12-6 curveballs I think I've ever seen. That was a major league curveball, wasn't it? Second endurance inning for Kralik. Roger Repos will lead it off. He's 1 for 2. Kralik gets the side. 1-7 lefty. He rolls it to second. Brown fields it. Sidearm flip to Whitfield, 1 down. Here's Hirschberger now. Six, 7 right-handed. Second base X. Brown tested yet again. 4E68. Here it is on a 20, and he does it again. Fine play by Brown. So Larry Brown, a 4E68 at second, is 3 for 3 on the X chart today. 2 down for Cater. Fastball, 6-5, swung on and missed, strike 3. And Kralik, who thought he would get through 6 innings? Not me. He got off to a rocky start, but he has settled in nicely the last 4 innings, surrendering only the third inning single to Roger Repos. Krause takes the mound for the bottom of the frame. Bottom third for Cleveland. That's a damn fine cup of coffee. Askew 0 for 2. Krause. 4-7. Grounder to short, fielded by Campaneris, who throws him out. Another one was a favorite of mine, Don Sutton. Of course, many would say that Sutton's curve was, how should we say, artificially augmented. Here's Brown now, the defensive star of the game. Krause for the 4-8 righty, fly to left field, routine for Gosker. Waiting on it now and puts it away. Now here's Kralik leading in the 6th. He's going to hit. 3-6, grounder to shortstop. Campy on the run, scoops it up, takes his time, pegs it over to first. And Krause with a 1-2-3 6th. Johnson, oh man, the unit. I saw the unit pitch a lot, of course, living here in Washington State. But the biggest thing about the unit, his stuff was not only filthy, but his size. Gee, many Christmas, it was like he was on top of you when he released the ball. So Jack Kralik, going into his 3rd endurance inning, has really settled into this ball game. Green, Nossick, and Roof due for the Athletics. Yes, exactly. Green 0 for 2. Kralik into the windup. That's going to be a 4-4 righty. Shortstop X, into the hole goes Simone. Tough play for Chico. He's a 434. That's a 15, and he's there. Plants, throws, just in time to nip Green. Nice play at short by Chico Simone. An excellent defensive game from a lot of unlikely suspects, frankly, today. No, I cannot, Ben. I really cannot. Can you imagine? Think about that. Hi, Jim Forbes. Welcome. Good to see you. How's everybody been? That would have been like, can you imagine the unit coming down a mountain at you? Oh, geez. Forget about it. Kralik. Pitch, 4-10 righty. Fly ball to right field, fairly deep. Colavito takes a few steps back and hauls it in. And how about this Jack Kralik now? Right around here, I would have guessed he was going to be knocked out before the third inning was over. Now pitching to Roof in the seventh. Fastball, 5-11. Base hit up the middle for Phil Roof, a 2-out single, his second knock of the day. And now we're going to have to hit for Krause. They're trailing in the seventh. So Krause went 6. Wrong guy. Krause went 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits. 3 runs, only 1 earned. Krause was burned by his defense. 2 walks, 1 intentional. Struck out only 1. Runner at first, no speed there. They're going to need to take an all or nothing shot. Could be, no, it's not going to be Stahl. We need a right-handed hitter. It's going to be Ed Charles. Well, Charles comes off the bench. Close game. In real life, they used Grilly at this point. But we're not going to do that. We're going to play it competitively, of course, and Jim Nash will be coming in for Kansas City. Let's take a look at Ed Charles' numbers. Charles has had a fine year, really, hitting .288, 3 home runs, 22 RBIs. Action also in the Cleveland pen. Left-hander Bob Allen throwing down there. Here's Ed Charles now. Kralik out of the stretch. It's a 6'10 righty. Fly ball center field X. Tough chance for Davalillo. There he goes. Back. 2 E5 on an 11 error range. It's a 10 on an E5. And what a fine running catch by Davalillo to end the inning. Fantastic defensive game on both sides. And we go to the stretch. Indians leading it 3-2. When we come back, Jim Nash will take the mound for Kansas City. He's a right-hander. I remember that too, Mike. That was funny. Kruk wanted no part of it, did he? It's like, I'm not getting injured in an exhibition game. I don't even want to be up here. Let's check in on Mookie, who's been carrying the channel lately. I wish the other menagerie was out here. The neighbor, of course, with 3 pets, 2 cats and a dog. The other cat, Aries, is more skittish. Coda, however, just comes right in and makes himself at home, much to the chagrin of Mookie. Isn't that right, Mookie? Where's your buddies? Did they go inside? See, he wants them to come back, but then when they do, and when Coda comes in, then he gets pissed off. He doesn't know what he wants. Except food, of course. We know he wants that. All right. Well, wow. I have to admit, just standing up that quickly, I got a little lightheaded there. I'll tell you what's funny about that, Ernest. He's not quite as definitive about it here because it's an apartment maybe? I don't know. But when I was at that rental house in Morro Bay, this black cat came into the front yard and Mookie was out on the deck and Mookie went at him just full bore and chased him down the street. So maybe because it was a house instead of an apartment, but Mookie really seemed to know this is my yard. Whereas here he seems to be aware that it's a shared yard. If that makes any sense at all. Nash has had a fine year. He's been in 16 games, 1-1, 2.73. Slightly backwards left-hander, meaning, of course, his card better against lefties than righties. Top of the order for Cleveland, Davalillo, 1 for 3, will start it off. Nash gets his sign from Ruth. 1-9 right-handed, rolls it to second. That's green. Flips it over to repos, 1 down. Here's Leon Wagner now, 0 for 2 with a walk. Nash into the windup. Here comes the pitch. 5-9 left-handed. Lifts it to straightaway center, high shallow pop fly. Nosek waiting on it now, waiting, and gloves it for the second out. 2 down for Chico. Here is the pitch. It's a 6-7 righty, and he loses in ball 4. 2 out walk to Chico Simone. Good speed there, star 19. Nash a -2. Roof a 0, so 17 held at 15. And he's going to roll for it. He needs a 5. Doesn't get it. And here's the pitch to Rocky Colavito. Fastball, 4-7, fly to right field. Hirschberger to his right on the run. Nice running catch in the gap there to retire the side. So after 7, 3-2, let's check the defense now. I hate to take Wagner out. I do not have the same qualms about Simone, of course. So Simone's going to come out. And I think what we're going to do is move Brown over to short, where he's a 331. And we're going to put Gonzalez in at second. He'll go in that spot, the 3 spot, where he's a 314. So the middle infield for the Indians gets a defensive upgrade here. That also means that Brown will finish 3 for 3 in X plays at second base. Now he could get an X play at short. Entirely different thing. And we go to the 8th inning. And how about that? Kralik takes the hill. Allen was already throwing. And now he's joined by the monster, Dick Radatz. Top of the order for KC. Campy 1 for 3. Kralik, the lefty, into the windup. That's going to be a 2-10. Comebacker, Kralik knocks it down, picks it up, and tosses it to Winfield in time to beat the speedy Campaneris. Here's Gosker now, his 2-run homer in the first, responsible for all of the KC scoring today. Who would have thunk that? Kralik with the pitch. That's a 4-3 lefty. Fly to right field X, slicing away from Colavito now. 3-6. On a 4, he can't get it. That's going to roll to the wall, and Gosker's in with a double. So Gosker having a fine day at the plate. A homer and a double. Tying run in scoring position now, and Repos at the plate. Repos is 1 for 3. I could get cute here. Could bring in a right-hander to hit for Repos. However, if they do that, most likely Cleveland goes to a right-hander out of the pen. So I'm going to take the easy way out here. I'm blaming my condition for this one. I'm going to let the lefty-lefty matchup stand. Could be the last batter for Kralik with Mike Hirschberger on deck. Kralik, pitch to Repos. 2-4, grounder to second. Fielded there by Gonzalez, and on the play, Gosker moves over to third. And now he's going to face Hirschberger. Kralik, a glance at third. Here it comes. 3-7. Grounder to short. Not Simone. Brown fields it and throws him out. And look at that, would you? Kralik through 8 innings. That will probably be it for Kralik. I don't think I'm going to ask an S5 starter to go the distance. But what a game by Kralik, especially considering the rocky start he had. Jim Nash will come out for his second inning of work as we go to the bottom of the 8th in what has been a really good game. Nice to come back with a good one. Whitfield has not been retired today. Doubled in the second, singled in the third, was walked intentionally in the 5th. Jim Nash gets the sign. Here's the windup on the pitch. It's a 4-9 lefty. Shortstop X. Into the hole goes Campaneris, 323. On an 11, E-range, a 7 on a 23, and he makes a fine stop, plants and throws in time. What a play by Campaneris. We're going to have to add up these X plays. I'm telling you what, on both sides. These teams came to play defense today. Here's Alvis, 2 for 3. Nash with the windup, 2-8 righty, struck him out. Two down for the catcher, Joe Askew. Here comes the pitch on a 3-7. Rolls it to short, Campy once again. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Jim Nash. So here we are, 8 innings in the books. Indians 3, Athletics 2. Nobody has scored since the 3rd inning. And Cleveland's going to go to the pen. With all these right-handers coming up, they're going to go to the monster, Dick Raddatz. Now, the way I'm feeling today, I'm hoping for no extra innings. If it happens, it happens. Radats 0-1 with a save in 5 games, 2.45 since coming over. Of course, he came over from Boston, remember, so let's take a look at his overall numbers, which aren't as pretty. 0-2, a pair of saves, 4.76. Cater, Green, and we'll see about Nosek for Kansas City. Danny Cater's 0 for 3. Radats gets the sign. That's going to be a 3-9. Rolls it right in the heart of his best column. He rolls it right to the shortstop, Brown, who throws him out. So Larry Brown, whether it's second base or shortstop, he brought the glove work today. Green 0 for 3. Radats into the windup now. That's a 3-10 righty. He lifts it to right field. Can of corn for Colavito, and Kansas City down to their last out. Will it be Nosek? Or are they going to take a shot? They've got Hinton. They've got Sims. They're going to send up the left-handed hitter Duke Sims and try to catch lightning in a bottle. Wait, that's the wrong team. They're not doing anything of the kind. They're going to send up the lefty Larry Stahl and try to catch lightning in a bottle. My apologies. Stahl's hit .272, 5 homers, 21 RBIs. Radats trying to get the save here. Crowd on its feet. Here's the windup. The pitch to Stahl on a 1-5. He struck him out, and that's the ball game. So it was a tense nail biter. Nobody scoring after the third. The Indians hang on to win it 3-2. I'll have the totals coming right up here. I forgot to write in Radats. He gets the save. That is his third of the season. Kralik with his first win of the year. How about that? 8 innings, 5, 6, 7, 8 hits. 2 runs, did not walk a man, struck out only 1. I'm thinking of Kralik as the player of the game. Any thoughts on that? Krause, the hard luck loser, drops to 4-3. Jim Nash worked 2 innings, gave up no hits, no runs, walked 1 and struck out 1. Spring ahead. Indians win with 3 runs, 6 hits, no errors. For the Athletics, 2 runs, 8 hits, 1 error. And it was a costly error. The error by Roger Repos at first base. But other than that, look at this. X-play. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, that's not one. 4 X-plays. I can't see worth a crap. Looks like only 1 here, huh? And that was 1. So Kansas City just 1 for 2 on the X chart. But Cleveland, holy cow, 1, 3 by freaking Brown at second base. And another by Brown at short. They were all Brown. Get a load of that. Yeah, I will. In fact, I can't even promise a game tomorrow. I'm going to see how I feel. Normally, I take Sunday off anyway. Of course, I've had a week off, so that doesn't make any sense, I know. I'm just thinking out loud here. We got a good one coming up, though. We got a double header up next, Twins at Tigers. I know that's going to be popular here. The opening game of that twin bill features the Cott Man, Jim Cott, on the mound for the Twins, and Dave Wickersham for Detroit. And hello, Clinton. Good to see you. I tell you, I'm going to make some lunch, and we'll see about tomorrow. I will say this, either tomorrow or Monday. If not tomorrow, then Monday for sure. We'll fire up that next game, the opening game of it, which should be an exciting doubleheader with the Twins and the Tigers. I want to thank everybody for hanging out with me as always. Thank you so much for the support. Thanks for sticking by me while I'm away. That means a lot. So everybody, cheers to all of you. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.